Hello, folks. How's it going? Welcome to Championship Sunday. Got the Dojo Championship Finals for 2023 taking place right now. This is game one between Timpe and Mitch Fabian. These two qualified by winning the candidates' semifinal matches yesterday. They both won a 4-game match, and they are now playing for the title. We also got the third place match underway as well between Laurent, aka Hisset Nunk, here and now, against Thorbittles. These two are playing for the bronze medal. Hello, Baymon. Hello, Pepper Chess. Hopefully you guys are all doing fine. And we've got the under 1800 championship taking place as well. We didn't know if this was going to happen. This was kind of just like a last second add-on because there weren't a ton of players, but we do have Road to 2000 against Nafor Olian. And these two are playing a 4-game match as well for the under 1800 title. So these are 4-game matches. They're playing 15-5. Best of 4. If tied after 4 games, then they're going to go to a tiebreak. Blitz tiebreak 3+2. 2 games of 3+2 until there's a winner. But yeah, yesterday we didn't have any tiebreaks, so the matches seemed very close. And yeah, wow, this first game is very sharp. And e5 and f5 just played. Wow, this game's super double-edged. This looks like Nimzo Indian if I've ever seen one. Yeah, a3. Oh, a3, man. Timpe just going for... I feel like Timpe, I noticed this, it plays a lot of like older systems. Especially this a3 was quite trendy like in the 80s, basically, the 70s. But since then, actually, it does kind of come back every once in a while. But it seems like Mitch played it pretty solid. Knight d7, f4. I think maybe somewhere black could have played e5 probably. Oh, hey, David. You're here. Awesome. All right, folks, let's get David in. I'm going to jump on a quick break. I'll leave the position up while we get set up. So see you all shortly. Alrighty, and we're back, I think. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
You are watching the 2023 Dojo Championship Finals. This is our championship match, Timpe against Mitch. First game of 4. Let me get that other game for you, David. Definitely recap what happens here. This is the under 1800 final. All right, but we should start with the championship game. So this one was crazy. This one, when we switched, White had just played d5. Just such a wild move.
Yeah. Let's check that.
And yeah, I have no idea how it should work out, but e takes d5 was played. CD takes on d3, takes on e5, check. King b8, and oh, queen takes a5. Timpe snags a horse. Okay, queen d6. Takes, queen b5. Takes, bishop f4. King a8. Wow. So it worked out very nicely for white.
Yeah, extra bishop against 2 pawns. Black king is definitely feeling some heat in general here.
Yeah, this queen a6 check, this was pretty killer. I mean, I don't know, maybe black should have played king c7 here.
Or knight b7?
Or knight b7 first. Yeah, either way, queen takes a7.
And then e4. Like trying to get back to, oops, we're trying to play a closed position.
Yeah. So e4. Right, because king c7 trying to trap the queen, fe5, it can get kind of messy, so let's just say e4. And that seems very, possibly very stable for black. I mean, if there's no breakthrough, black would be fine. So...
Yeah, I mean, fine is a strong word. White could always sack the exchange on b6. That king is pretty ragged.
Yeah, that was something. Taking on b6, but I'm not sure if white gets enough. I mean, yeah, it's hard to get the knight and bishop into play. So I don't know if Mitch needed to give the piece with king b8. I feel like that's too much. And now, yeah, Timpe, he's just piling up with rook e2.
Yeah, preparing to win the knight.
And this is a problem. Yeah, black stuff is hanging here. Now, it should be said, Mitch is playing with a very pregnant wife. And, you know, I mean, I imagine it's very hard to stay focused when you have something going on that big in your personal life. But he still managed to make it to the final, which is good.
I don't see anything for him to do here. I mean, g5 to avoid losing the knight, but bishop takes g5, and then you have to move the rook, and white just gets back to doubling in a moment. Queen c6 loses to white just taking on e5 either way.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks pretty devastating. Let's see the bronze medal game.
Okay.
Laurent against Thorbiddles. And let's just run it back, see what happens. So this was a Dutch Thorbiddle specialty. He's been playing a lot of Leningrad. D5, E5, en passant. It's like white played a pretty stable setup here. B6, B4, A5, B5, knight G4, knight D4, allowing him to take the bishop. King takes H2. Okay.
Papa.
Live position here could go a couple of ways. I kind of like white's situation. I feel like they have a nice grip on the center. These knights on d4 and d5. Black goes rook c8. Now h5 is kind of takeable.
Allowing the king.
And on e6. He takes on e6 first. And then I think bishop h5 will follow, because this is very tempting. This looks really nice for white. This actually looks like a nice example, what I would call an empty bishop. where a bishop is open, so it's not really, definitely not a bad piece, but it doesn't attack anything, and so it's hard for black to play.
Yeah, but he's got to take on h5 because his light sword bishop's not amazing. Like if you let black play knight f6, position's equal. Maybe even better for black.
Yeah, white can also have an empty bishop on f3 if they want. Which to me feels a little bit like, he puts it there, feels a little bit more useful than black's bishop anyway. But yeah, I think he must have just talked himself out of it, because I feel like you just snap here in a lot of games. The knight comes to f4, queen d5, g3. Feels like a very milkable position.
There's still a playable line for white after knight f6. It's not so bad. Is knight f4, queen f7, bishop d5, and you still offload that bishop. So he could still think better of what he's done before. Actually, bishop b7 might even be a slight improvement on that, just so c7's hanging.
Yeah, let's say hit the rook, bishop d5. Have to take.
Yeah, that's winning.
C takes. This is still very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. The small difference of bishop b7. No, I would go with the queen, I think, Kostya. Oh, you're taking like this, right? Because on queen takes, black just plays king h7. Shoot.
Yeah,
King
I just
h7,
wanted to immediately.
Queen d5, bishop e5. Shoot. Okay. Yeah. So cd5, bishop e5, and black holds on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know about holds on. I think white's clearly better in this structure. But we could have gone in very similar, but with the pawn split on. If the pawns are split on the king side, then no heavy piece position is nice for black. It's just kind of over. So
this would be an interesting tactical puzzle right here, Kostya. Between going g3 and taking gf4 to have the g6 pawn as a second weakness, or playing like rook e1 to play e takes f4.
Oh.
And transition with rook e6.
Sorry, you were talking about that position with the 9 on f4. Yeah, I think.
I don't think it matters to us here today, but it's an interesting, like, high-level puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so definitely still advantage white. Now they've got less time.
Oh my gosh, Kostya, do you know who won Tata Steel?
I saw Wei Yi won the tiebreak.
Wei Yi? Oh my goodness.
I know, right?
Wow.
Blast from the past.
Yeah, that was not seen coming.
And did you see the winner of the B group?
No. I know in the lead was Marc-Andre Morizzi.
Mm-hmm. He did not win. It was Mendonca. Mendonca won.
Oh, your opponent.
That's right. I was his last game in Sitges before he wins Challengers Group. Tata Steel. Now I almost drew him. It was close.
Yeah. You got him ready.
Yeah, after that game, he was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I almost drew this guy." So he must have really worked after that.
Buckled down.
But yeah, let's talk about
celebrating Christmas this year. I almost drew with
exactly. But no, let's talk about Wei Yi. I mean, that's it's just unexpected. I mean, he just kind of fell off the face of the chess world.
Yeah. I saw one interview of his with Fiona, and he said that he didn't have a second at the tournament either. And he said he was tired, and he didn't have any energy left for the last 2 rounds.
Well, it shows. I mean, the class is permanent, you know? I mean, I remember the dude had just some insane games in the past. And, yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of these guys, they struggle with, like, motivation issues. Like him, Ding Liren, Wang Hao also, I feel like, had this case.
Yeah, when they get good enough, they just don't know what they're doing it for anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it might have something to do with how much support they get. I'm really not sure, but it feels like it's a typical thing with the top Chinese players.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep an eye on the other games here. So Timpe, he's still up a piece against Mitch, and should convert most likely. In the under 1800 group, I think we might have had a first game already. It looks like Road to 2001 won the first game.
But you know what, Kostya? I thought Mitch was going to lose even more stuff last time we looked. So, bravo on Mitch's part to force Timpy to play another, 20, 30 good moves. Because I don't know how Mitch, quote-unquote, escaped.
Looks like, yeah, he played knight c6. Actually, that's smart, just to unpin immediately. Traded rooks. White traded queens. And, yeah, I guess I would agree with what you said. He definitely could have just lost the game outright very easily. So yeah, credit to him to keep it going. It
Also,
still feels
credit to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's chances. I mean, it's the best you can really hope for, given that you were down the piece. So
yeah.
What else can you do?
The knight wanders off, oddly, but yeah.
So did you manage to see what happened in this under 1800 game?
I saw that Road to 2000 was crushing in the first game.
Yeah, they won.
Yeah.
But for some reason, can't find the game, which is unfortunate. But okay, they're on to their game 2.
Yeah. Are we on best of 4 again today?
Yeah. Okay, actually, yeah. Now the Timpy versus Mitch game definitely heating up. We have what you would call a race position.
Woo! Oh man, he's not going to give him anything.
Bishop d6, using the extra piece.
Mitch prepares a5 in case the bishop tries to cover everything. Yeah, that was good, thinking ahead.
Bishop f8, yeah. I like that move, allowing white to take the pawn on f5. Rook d2, sneaky threat, knight c1. Where if rook takes f5, knight c1, rook e5, there'd be knight d3 and king d2. Maybe white could have still done it.
Why didn't he go rook d3?
Rook d3 looks possible.
That's weird. Now he must be cooked. Because only one person has a pass pawn.
Yeah.
There will be no racing without a pass pawn.
Now it looks like it's time to push it. G4.
Yeah. Are these the last finals games? This is the finals, yeah. And it's game 1 for Mitch and Timpy.
That's right. This is just the first game for them so far.
And Laurent Thorbiddle's first game is also going the distance. Currently equal material with opposite colored bishops. I would say a draw is the most likely result at the moment by a little bit. And I don't say that lightly in non-super GM games. repeating once.
Yeah, Timpe has to find a way out of these checks. It's a little bit annoying because you basically have to
Like king g2.
lose touch with the knight.
What is that? That was weird.
Goes this way. So this is the final match, and we've also got the bronze medal match taking place between Laurent and Thorbidals.
Yeah, this is messy how Timpe played this. Very messy. Oh no! Itch. Rook d2 looked much stronger to me.
Yeah, White definitely needs to be careful here with the king. This could still turn around. King d1 here.
There are 3 matches going on, actually. There's first and third place matches overall, and there's a first place match for under 1800 as well.
Ooh, 94. That allows black to take. Let's see,
Yeah,
3.
He's playing king b2, but the rook can go back to e3. Still tricky. Rook.
Yeah, now it's
E2.
very tricky. I thought rook e2 or c3 check. Whoa. Whoa.
Now what do you do?
Not there.
No!
Not there.
No, not
Oh no. Oh no.
Im
Oh, Mitch with the
Possible.
checkmate.
impossible.
Oh no, he just chose the wrong square. He just walked right into it.
Wow. They're still working out some things from the qualifier tournament. Some who owes who opponent.
They're paying it back. Yeah. Dang, we felt the uncertainty. And then we saw it. Those
Should we give the
dang
third
mates.
place game a look at the end because it's 20 seconds versus 40?
Yeah, let's switch there.
The queen did come off.
Yeah, so now black's bishop is no longer empty. Now it's just hero. Just a hero of a piece. But bishop takes. Okay, I thought king takes. You want to bring that bishop back to e5. I think bishop e5 now. Rook f5 check. Okay, king g6. I think rook
rook f7.
Rook f7, I guess, is the bigger worry. So he doesn't want to allow that.
Nice. Nice move. Good job, Thorbidals. Showing some class. Beautiful. Defends everything and goes to attack c4 as well. Should be a draw no matter what.
But I think black should play here. I feel like black is better.
Really?
Yeah, it feels like black is better. We got more weaknesses. We have g3 pawn, e4 pawn, c4.
5.
King feels a little bit better. I would put the rook back on e7. I think bishop needs to be on e5 here. Rook goes to g7.
If I played rook d5 for white last move, like, would you really say you were better?
Oh, if rooks come off, then yeah, shake hands. But I think with rooks on the board, okay, I would just go rook e7 there. I would. Well, sorry, there is some checks. Maybe not rook, although it might be fine. But yeah, I think black should have. I don't know. I would have tried to bring the rook to the g file. Probably still very, very much holding for white anyway. But okay, draw agreed. They're on to their game 2 as well.
Whoa. Road to 2000 won the second game while we weren't looking.
Oh. Okay, yeah, we're missing all their games in the under 18.
Going fast. I'm looking it up just to
Let's see if I can.
I'm sending you a link in Discord. Just
Oh,
check it out.
perfect.
They're playing at such a high level too for their supposedly rating section. B3.
Okay, so this is the second game that Road to 2001. Oh, right, they had this very drawish exchange Slav type of position, but black got managed to snag a pawn, and then ended up snagging another one and winning the rook. Alrighty. So that means Road to 2000 just needs
A draw.
one more point, or 1/2 point,
Mm-hmm.
to win it. And I lost the other games.
Playing h4 in the Caro without there being a bishop on g6. That is an interesting choice.
Oh, sorry,
I wonder if that's
that
a new way of playing chess or whether that is a misapplication of a move from a different position. Wow.
It does feel like classic Caro h4 h5, like hitting the bishop at it. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it actually is fine for white. I wouldn't have done it probably, but especially if black like castles or something, then this just looks like a nice advance.
Won't look bad. What it should be is a little slow, right? Like since you're not getting two moves out of black's c8 bishop, this should be allowing black to break in the center with c5 or e5.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure about this knight b6 move, and this is kind of a typical thing. It's like, all right, knight b6, we attack the bishop. Like, what could be bad? But I think actually c5, yeah, on the last move was the way to play, because black really needs to eventually open up the light squared bishop, as you said. Maybe put it on b7. Then I think black would be absolutely fine.
Yeah. And knight b6 kind of keeps it from going to b7 as well. And I don't see how black plays e5 just yet, so the bishop is suffering.
Yeah. This is kind of, yeah, very typical play. It's like, you don't have a move, all right, just queen c7, just improve the queen, figure out what to do with the bishop later. Don't want to castle yet, because, like, you know, we're scared about some sacrifice. But, yeah, no, the bishop needs to be fixed first and foremost.
I would consider c4 for white right now. Keeping the knight on b6.
Yeah. That looks nice. Okay, so white very much in control. Oh, c4 played.
Nice.
And
I guess what surprised me the most in the event so far was just like a few blunders, like in endgames where somebody's like ahead several pawns and then they allow checkmate in one or two for the adversary. We've seen that maybe 3 times.
yeah, there's been a
And
couple of mate blunders.
It's been a big shock to me each time.
Yeah, because people have had some time on their clock. Like, it's not like they're totally blitzing at that point. Like a minute, a couple minutes. Yeah, bishop b4 check I think is logical, but yeah, black really needs to play c5 at some point.
Yeah.
Bishop d7, knight e5.
And c5 was not amazing. Like white was better after c5. White's been doing some useful stuff up till this point. I wouldn't have played knight e5 though. I'd be working on the rooks because I'm always thinking like if black plays c5, you know, what are the most useful moves for me while waiting for c5?
Yeah, no, knight e5 kind of walks into c5. It like, ooh, bishops. Oh
They each
no.
think that bishop's better than the knight.
Oh boy. Ooh, do not
Holy.
like that move. Yeah.
Kostya, would you even consider giving black's b6 knight life again here?
Oh, I'm playing c5 myself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually. Well, I was thinking about c5 on the last move,
Mm-hmm.
just to stop black from playing c5. I think it was definitely a reasonable idea. But here there's also like you also have b4 as an option.
Yeah.
Just try to get the best of all worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. I think b4 looks reasonably good. The question would be knight bd7. It's kind of a Slav question. Knight bd7. And then if you retreat your knight a5. Yeah, of course Cartier wants to just go knight f7, bishop g6. That's another approach entirely.
knight bd7, I'd probably go f4.
My suspicion is that castling was best, even though this c5 knight c4 is tempting and Kostya's b4 is tempting. My suspicion is if you just get your rooks ready, everything will work out for you better than if you start trying to win the fight for various dark squares.
Rooks are good. Rooks are OP. This doesn't look bad. This seems like it's forcing black to castle. And I've had this structure quite a bit from like, yeah, different kinds of Slavs. It's not easy to win, but it's just so pleasant for white. Like this bishop on c8 is a really bad piece. That said, though, black does have easy play. You just go b6, you go a5, bishop a6. You just try to get it
Castle,
out.
play b6, bishop a6. Everything's really like obvious moves, and you're probably not completely lost. So
Yeah.
I would prefer from white's perspective, just, castle, rook e1 kind of stuff. And once your rooks are connected, there are more positions where you can play b4 without giving any counterplay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, black having a think here. Let's see what else we got. Championship game. Looks like this was a Sicilian accelerated dragon mainline a6 variation. Okay, queen d2. Basically ended up getting kind of a typical dragon structure anyway. The opposite side's castling. Mitch goes h5. Rook ac8, hg, fg.
White must be in great position here.
Yeah, it looks like a nice version for white.
That's the move I was thinking. Queen there, threatening e5.
Yeah, also some knight f5 check.
Yeah. Our idea is to sort of kick the knight off of h7.
Mm-hmm.
Very hard to answer. And if black plays e5 themselves, then knight f5, king, h8. Queen f6, rook h7 doesn't work. Too bad we don't have a bishop on b3.
Just queen takes g6. Simple.
Queen c2.
Oh, we got mate hanging.
Yeah, that's why I'm playing e5 for black, not not because I want white to play knight f5.
Mate is unfair. So you can go check in knight e3.
Did white have the option of c takes b3? It looks unlikely since black's got two heavy pieces on the c file. Can go back and look at the moment where it happened.
Yeah,
No,
the
white.
king needed to be on b1. If Mitch had played king b1, then actually totally reasonable. Yeah, take cb because there is a b4, of course. Then I agree. Then I think that is preferable for white in some cases. I'm not 100% sure if it is the case here, but that is a very typical thing.
I think he's playing more or less a perfect game. Like the choice and the pace he went actually in this game.
Black went e6. Why not e5? I guess check in 93 was like the minimum white could do.
Mm-hmm.
Then game continues. Doesn't seem super clear. Yeah. But e6, e5, this looks bad. Now this looks over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has knight g8. Knight g8 is still... kind of there, but it looks like it loses, like, to some knight c5.
Knight g8, knight c5. Wow. And then queen c5, knight e6.
Yeah.
F, D, E, rook d7, rook f7, rook h7, king h7, rook f7, king h8, queen h4. Damn, you found that quickly. That's brutal. That's brutal.
Oh, yeah, actually, I was
Knight.
thinking, yeah, that's cleaner. I was thinking rook takes f7, and rook takes h7, king f8, queen f4.
Okay.
Queen
Yeah,
f7. But I like yours.
it.
Yours is much cleaner.
That just means you calculated even 2 moves further in the same amount of time. The same idea should work here, but it's not even necessary, right? There's queen e7 is much easier.
Knight e8. Yeah, I mean, this is queen h6. Yeah, queen e7.
He's made a move.
Yeah,
Some
this
kind.
is
Queen e7. Ooh.
This is GG.
Uh-oh. Timpy is... He's down. He's being counted. He's on the ropes. 2-0.
Yeah, but this was a tough game after that first one. I mean, it's really hard to lose the first game of a match like that because you just feel like you lost 2 points because you lost the game and it should have been your 1-0.
Yeah.
Brutal. Mitch wins the 2-0. He's well on his way. Yeah, that was a very well played game by Mitch. I mean, that was solid. Just like...
Yeah, that was a championship game.
Straightforward.
Let's see what he's got. I think the last game he played the Nimzo, so it seems that he's switching openings here. Flexing multiple openings for one match.
Let's go to Thorbital's.
Yeah.
This game is weird.
Whoa!
Trying to understand. Yeah, what's happening. I think actually things are soon gonna stabilize. I think white's gonna trade everything off. I would have taken on a8 just to put black's bishop in the corner, but now it feels like b3. White's got an extra pawn, but we'll have to make some sacrifices to get the rook out.
Yeah, there's no way to get it out, is there?
Yeah. Not without losing something.
Over the king side, right? Which will give up your whole queen side.
Right.
Oh, only black could be better here, despite being down a pawn at the moment.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I would say black is better necessarily, but okay, it's still very concrete because bishop a6 forces c4, then rook b2 check.
Well, then white can maybe equalize. I guess they're still giving up the g pawn if they bring out the bishop. So white's still worse there, yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah, this is not fun.
But also, I mean, like, if black doesn't play bishop a6 and just plays, king e7, king d6, king c5, king b4, isn't black better like that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not seeing a way for white to get the pieces out. You're so tricky using all the dark squares.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels unpleasant for white. See, that's kind of a nice choice between bishop a6 and just bringing the king. Okay, he goes for bishop a6.
You must have done something slightly genius to get here, Kostya, right? Anytime you're down material in a good position, it means that you did something clever.
Yeah, you can go back and see what happened. Yeah, I mean, we had this, like, weird... okay, so this was, This is one of Laurent's pet systems. I remember he was asking me if these kinds of lines were playable. I'm like, yes, but, like, as more of a, like, surprise weapon, you gotta be careful. But, looks like he managed to make it work. So white won the d5 pawn, but allows black's rook in.
Yeah.
And now went for this rook d8, bishop h6, which granted feels annoying, but I mean, black just got out with bishop b7, and then we have the present endgame.
But, I mean, it may look slightly bad that you're trading your two developed pieces. Like, can't we do something else with our time than trade our two developed pieces? But if you play g3 instead, which is the only useful thing to do, not only black can play rook takes b2, recovering their pawn and attacking a2, but they've got bishop b7. First, kicking your rook around.
Yeah.
And if you allow bishop f3, you're losing. Rook d3, bishop a6 might also be losing. So I don't really know what white should have done. It looks like everything looks a little bit bad.
Mm-hmm. So then maybe just taking on d5 was a mistake in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Allowing the rook to get in and everything. We've got this endgame here. He goes g3, looking for another tempo, but
Bishop b7.
Bishop b7. Yeah. This actually is okay too, because it's still coming, and black will win the h pawn.
Yeah, but it's nowhere near, because the point of bishop b7 is, like, you're threatening to come back to a1 at some point, right? So white would have to probably still play bishop d3. And then you take on No, you take on f3 first. Rook f1. Bishop c6.
Well,
h4. Yeah, just not a big difference.
Clear extra pawn either way, yeah, for black. So Laurent taking control in the second game. First game, he also, he had that big chance in the middle game, we were thinking. And now the second game. So they're no longer fearing Thorbidals.
Right.
After his 7-0 sprint, Mitch took him down yesterday. Big upset. Now Laurent is like, I'm also going to take my shot against him. Bishop b7. Okay, yes, he's going to get this extra pawn. He's going to try to convert this.
There was sort of an evil-looking move there, Kostya. Bishop e4.
Mm-hmm.
But white can maybe just not even believe you and play bishop d3, and then against rook f3, rook d1. Right, then you've tied white up, but you forgot to win any pawns.
Right.
This made more sense.
Yeah. Okay, and let's go to the under 1800. So here, Road to 2000 is up 2 points, but this game actually got way out of
Yeah.
hand.
I have one last point about the previous Orbitals game.
Yeah.
I believe Laurent should play Rook G2 to ensure a bishop ending, not a rook ending. That minimizes the weakness of the A7 pawn. And I think the timing is just in time that white can't go Rook A1, Rook G3, Rook A7, Bishop E4. Go to Rook G2. That gives you solid chances to win the game. Anyway.
Interesting. I feel like that's such an alien move to me because Black's rook is so active. I feel like I would just go King E7, King D6.
Mm-hmm.
Just bring the king.
King E7, Rook A1.
Then
A6.
A6, yeah.
Then C5, Rook H3.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I would just put my fate into the heart of the pieces, just. But yeah, actually, should be fast for Black.
This move's very nice too, right? Because if we get one of those Rook A1, Rook G2, or Rook H3 kind of lines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely helps. Also, he sets up H4 ideas as well to open up White's position a bit more.
Actually, another interesting move for Black would have been C5.
I was thinking about C5, yeah.
Then if White ever goes Rook A1, you play A6. And
just go A6. Yeah, but the issue with C5, White plays B4 anyway. And now gets a passer.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I still like Black's chances. We got the extra pawn.
Yeah. I still just believe in Rook G2.
Oh, but let's see this other game because it just finished.
Oops.
Road to 2000 got the turnaround. It's
with
9
the same
on
checkmate.
F6. Ooh, this was a big misstep here by Black. Rook C2, allowing Rook C1, and Black's Rook on G7, just in the worst spot here.
Yeah, that's awkward.
That was game over. So we got our under 1800
champion. Opening with an extra pawn.
Yeah, no, actually, it completely turned around. Black was doing, I think, very well. The bishop.
Yeah, meaning if you played like Rook G1, King G7, probably technically winning. The Knight F6 doesn't even know where it's going.
Yeah, instead of Rook C2, yeah, of course, just trading off rooks, King G7, and Black is up a pawn, and yeah, super happy here. Another one of these endgame turnarounds. We've seen so many of these endgame checkmates.
Yeah. Thanks for the raid, Illinois Chess. Welcome, folks, to the Dojo Club Championships. And for anyone else who's joined us recently, we are watching the championship match. These players qualified from 2023 by doing well in our league. And we just crowned our Dojo under 1800 champion, Road to 2000. And remains to be seen who will win the overall Dojo championship.
Yeah, I've got the bronze medal match here. B4, H4, takes, Rook takes. Now F5. This feels like the Orbitals is making progress, trading off those pawns.
Yeah, but Laurent's the one who made the progress. It was just fourth Orbitals.
Right.
Because Laurent's the one who played H4.
Yeah. Yeah, allowing everything. Yeah, still an extra pawn. So, we'll see. In the meantime, we also have our championship game here. Mitch is up 2-0 after a very fortunate first win. And he is trying to just draw this game, but he's behind. He's down a horse.
How did he lose a horse in 15 moves?
Yeah, he's got no.
Ow!
Where did the horse go? Let's see what happens. So this was Queen's Gambit accepted. And a solid line. Oof. Gets in trouble here with knight b3
He really chose to let it fly.
and a5. Oof.
Did not fear d5 enough.
And yeah, now he's trying to.
He couldn't do anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, knight a5 is just the wrong idea, Kostya.
Knight a5.
Yeah, you know these positions a little bit, right? The knight should just go to b4 in these lines.
Yeah, I don't
No.
typically see knight a5 unless it immediately is getting to c4. Like there's a rook on c8, queen on c7, and then knight comes to c4. Definitely, yeah, I agree with you. Knight b4, you just use the b4 square, use the d5 square, bishop d7, bishop c6, and you just hold. You just hold. Do not allow any tactics whatsoever.
Oh my goodness, the fortune. Like, he's just been given back his piece after losing a piece this early.
What?
After bishop b7, white didn't like rook d4 or rook e5 or even knight c3 or bishop a. Yeah, I don't know. They didn't find anything. They played rook takes b5, giving back the piece.
Oh boy. Wow. I don't know. Huh. I don't get that one. What was he so afraid of?
I don't know. I mean, was there maybe rook d4, knight b3 with a back rank kind of thing?
So rook d4, yeah, knight b3, this can definitely understand is a problem.
Okay. So that leaves rook e5, which is way more obvious.
Rook e5,
Then-
yeah.
Then knight c4 with the same idea. It's not based on a fork. Knight c4.
Oh, hold on. So we're... Wow. So we spoke too soon. Dang.
So this was like a mess right here for him to try and figure out what to do.
So b6, knight e4. Yeah.
And knight c3, there's b4. So it's really not obvious what to do. Knight c3, b4. Maybe rook a d1 is the only like clearly advantageous move.
Yeah, then I feel like you at least keep some edge. But that means knight e4 was definitely wrong, because white had options there as well. There was like knight d3. Here it feels like white should keep the material.
Yeah, at the moment b6 is played. Maybe b4.
After knight d3?
Oh no, instead of knight d3, I was thinking b4. But yeah, you could play whatever move you
b4.
want.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, that, I mean, yeah, tactical move. Sure. I was just thinking, like, you know, I felt like it's got to be easy for white.
Yeah. Yeah, you were just wanting to say the knight could go to a safe square, and then we can stop.
Yeah. Okay.
Knight
So
d7 was also a very good safe square.
knight d7 felt fine too. Okay, so we were wrong. So bishop b7, clearly we were kind of naive. I mean, we should have understood there's a reason he just gave back the piece. Takes.
Yeah.
Bishop b6 takes on f3, gf3. Still extra pawn for white.
Yeah. And question goes here, would you have made the trade on f3 as black, damaging the structure, but then you have to.
No,
It
I
might
would have
hurt.
kept the bishop.
You just keep the opposite bishops and like hope you can just hang tough.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like this bishop is because also in the game situation, white gets this rook versus knight, rook and bishop versus rook and knight. I feel like this is very pleasant for white. Overall,
Like they can just push the knight completely out of the queen side and then eventually advance the pawn since there's no defended squares on the queen side.
yeah. Now b4, b5 is coming, and so on. Yeah.
Okay.
So to me, this still feels like Tempe has excellent winning chances.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you too. I feel like black should keep the light squared bishop against the outside b pawn.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
think
there's that
so.
natural desire to accomplish something, right? Like bishop takes f3, you're sort of, I'm doing something to you.
Well, for sure, for sure. Let's see. Laurent here still up a pawn, but clock has ticked down, so he's still gonna try to win this, but I feel like it's gonna be very, very hard.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have a lot of time, then you're no longer able to kind of find difficult moves, and if it's not easy, you just kind of you're more content to just move back and forth.
Yep.
Though some players are relentless, they don't care. Like I was watching some guys like Duda or Temyev when they play blitz, they can just move around like endlessly in the quietest of positions, like 40 moves, and then still find some like winning attempt and try to win at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, black still has a chance. It's not huge, but there's a chance. If you compare this to rook g2, trading rooks instead of trading pawns, I think chances are less than they were before.
But definitely chances, because we got the one extra pawn, and then this b pawn is certainly extended. So I feel like, yeah, if we had a bishop endgame with black's king on c5, then that is essentially winning.
Yeah. Even still, if we could get rooks off, in other words, right, it would become dangerous.
Yeah. But advance white's king a bit, then I feel like white should be kind of fine. But okay, no, white has their work cut out for them. They gotta try to hold still.
Yeah. They're giving it everything they have today. Using all their time and everything.
Bishop b3.
Oh, I found a move for Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's reminiscent of a Thorbittles game we saw before. Rook to d1.
D1, yeah. Could be annoying, especially if you just like go back king g2, like stop your check.
Yeah, then I go knight f4, g5.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It starts to look tricky. I guess king f5 here. You're at least walking away.
Okay.
But I think that was definitely worth a try for sure.
Yeah, I just like switched my attitude, right? And was like, instead of trying to defend the queen side, is there anything I can do on the king side with those pawns messed up? Like, is there any counterplay at all?
Yeah.
And then there just was.
Yeah, I think that was definitely the best try. Now, I mean, rook e8, I definitely don't understand because spent 4 minutes on it, and then white goes b4, which is like most obvious move, and then rook b8. So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I think he looked for an idea and didn't find one, and then waited.
Right. But I mean, I feel like there must have been something more useful.
Yeah, I mean, his
This
king's tied to
tempo.
g7. His knight can't get to the queen side. It's tough. Sometimes you just don't see anything. But one idea I could suggest would be knight f8 to e6 if you don't see anything. Like, just get the knight to
Yeah, a
the
little
square where it's
closer.
close to the b
Covers
pawn.
g7, so you can start walking the king in.
Yeah.
Feels like black's gonna need to do that if they want to survive. And yeah, there it goes. Okay, better late than never.
Hmm.
Hey, Mitch just needs a draw to clinch the championship. This one will be tough, but he will have white in the next game, so he's got a good shot here. Oh, and they're down to 1 minute. Okay, they got a rook end game. This is the bronze place match, folks. So Laurent is black still with the extra pawn. Maybe f5, rook f6. Get the rook behind.
Yeah.
f5, Laurent, you got to push the passed pawn. We got to do a lesson on passed pawns and how they're meant to be pushed. You gotta advance them. Now white's rook gets behind. This rook d6 move was
Now it's
slow.
Not really much left to do. King e7, rook c8. He's bringing the rook to f5. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, I think he wants rook c1 check now. And then pushing the f pawn.
Oh.
With king d5, white should stay central. d4 also probably fine. Why was turning b6 there? So now
they weren't. Because on
'cause of
b6 you had rook c1 check. Now you don't.
True. But hold on, now white's king has drifted a bit. So if you could go rook f5 here, it would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, king e4 should still draw at this point.
Right.
Even if black had time for rook f5. Ooh.
White only king e2.
That might be too far.
Yeah, now it feels like black's making definite progress. Like king e7,
king d6. Oh,
yeah, king d6 and bring the rook.
King d7 needing a tempo because of king d6. I didn't find it, but then when Laurent played it, I saw it.
Yeah.
Still, I think white's drawing even after king d6, but it definitely asked a question.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Tricky.
Key. What a pressure cooker.
White's job is easy. Either put the rook on f8 or c8.
Yeah.
Okay, Laurent. He gives it up. He's like, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. Alright, Thorbittles should draw this one. Be really unfortunate if he didn't. Let's check on the other game. The other game, I think Timpe is getting his extra piece back.
He sacked the b pawn somehow.
Yeah. So b4, b5, bishop e5, rook c8. Nice. And yeah, this is going to be not fun to try to hold. Definitely don't like g6, as I feel like f6 is the only construction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think it matters much. I think you can resign as black. Of
Yeah,
course,
it is
not
bad.
not here.
We'll see how he converts. Well, in the meantime, let's just keep a quick eye on Thorbidals, because
Or he did not yet know the Philidor.
Laurent has tricked him. You know, he's stopping him from putting his rook on the third rank. He's like, what?
But like, if he really knew the Philidors, then like when black pushes c4 last move, he should pretend like his rook was on the third rank on the fourth rank, right? And go rook f8.
Rook f8, exactly. Absolutely.
Right. So that's why I'm saying it's not clear that he knows the Philidors. Oh my God, he's losing.
Wow, Laurent managed to trick him.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
See? People don't know the Philidor.
He got confused. He couldn't get his rook on the third rank. He needed to go rook f2 and just stop the check. That would be easy.
He could have pushed him out right there. He could have just put him in Lucena, and he didn't.
Rook f2. Okay, they're both scrambling.
Now it's the long side. You have to go rook h1 here.
Wow, he just pushed them into the correct corner too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
People really don't know Philidor or Lucena.
This must be how Jesse feels when he he watches us.
No. I know this stuff, Kostya. Come on.
No, I mean I think we've probably messed up more advanced stuff that for him is like oh boy. But yeah, this has been several errors in a row. But see, that's what happens, because it's not like you get the textbook position. You just get a slight variation on it, and then with no time on the clock, people panic and they are not able to figure it out.
You want? Right, Thorbidals gets the long side defense. Short side with the king, long side with the rook.
Yeah, no, really needs to find rook g8 here.
Yeah. I think he will.
Yeah, out of necessity. Yeah, what?
20
else?
seconds. Yeah, there's just some moves where you have to. But oh my gosh, you've got to know. You've got to know Philidor and Lucena. That's minimum. This is the championship.
Yeah.
Oh! I think it was already too late. If he just played king c1, it was done. Now rook g1.
Rook g1's very clutch.
Oh man. He could have just won, right? Kostya, king c1, c2.
Yeah, he had king c1. Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Should we tell them to analyze this one?
Dude, this is gonna be homework for the entire cohort.
Everyone in the cohort is punished together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is brutal. I mean, this is just. It actually was a textbook Philidor when they got to the extra pawn. So it should never have even gotten complicated.
Yeah. Every single one of these positions is a textbook position. They've all been, one or two clear moves away from the textbook positions. So now king b3, if I've got the board right, is crucial. That is a big mistake.
No, but king b3 c2 check.
Oh, it was check anyway. Uh-oh.
Yes, I think it was.
Me too.
I think it's cooked. And Laurent manages to pull it off. I mean, 90 moves.
Oh.
Gets the job done. King A1! David, King A1! I should have tried.
King A1 where you were trying.
King A1, you could have still tried. I mean, it's still losing. I think C2. Yeah, it's definitely losing anyway, but.
Yeah.
You gotta run your clock down to 1 second and then just play King A1.
Yes.
That's how you try it.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
Wow, that was drama there at the end.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. Huge game. I am confused why it now says 1-0. It should be 1.5 half. Because they drew the first game and Laurent won the second game.
Yeah, maybe that game took so long that the chess.com head-to-head reset.
Yeah, a little weird. Okay, so everyone should just keep in mind it's 1.5 half in Laurent's favor. So 2.5 wins the match. Mitch did lose that game to Timpe where he was down the piece. So he's still up 2-1. And needs at least a half point in this final game. And Timpe, he takes him to the end game. Interesting. In a must-win situation.
I mean, when he played Queen B3, he probably didn't see Queen B4, so whether or not he wanted to take him to the end game, we don't know.
I mean, Black wanted the end game.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that I agree with.
Yeah. But I think it's actually quite fine as a strategy if you really feel like your end games are your strong suits. And you think it's like, okay, IQP, I said queen pawn, some imbalance to play for, then you can absolutely try and grind this to a win.
Yeah. Plus, the position is like equal, so that's always good if you want to try and win as black to at least have equality.
True.
I think though that instead of C6, black should maneuver their pieces if they want like some more winning chances. Because C6, you're just inviting white to play D5, and it gets harder to win as black.
Yeah, I think Mitch should definitely try to play D5 sooner rather than later. Maybe bishop F4 as well.
Actually, D5 here might be weirdly strong because you might play knight B5 instead of taking.
Ooh.
This move sort of does nothing against knight BD7 as far as I can tell, but D5, I guess black could just castle, right? What do they care about your pawn on D5?
Yeah, I was also thinking C5 is an option for black, maybe, just to keep more life in the structure.
Yeah, but knight B5 is so strong.
Yeah, I guess it would be, yeah. Yeah, and then just castles. So here, knight D7. Now D5. But now, I guess still C5, knight B5 is still unpleasant.
Yeah. The bishop G5 is a little bit random looking here, but you still got a very simple equality for now with this move.
Mm-hmm.
So, with the match and all, it's definitely a very reasonable choice for Mitch, I think.
Yeah.
Playing for a draw is something that I never experienced doing when I was this kind of a rating, right? Because you were never in sort of a match situation, right? Or qualifying for a championship, this or that, right? It's always just you're playing random tournaments. The games are all worth the same nothing. They're just experience, right? So you rarely sit down at the board and tell yourself let me see if in a must draw situation I could now draw this person, right? Like when do you set out to practice that?
See, I think that's not a typical experience. I think many players at this rating do have that experience because they just naturally want to draw against higher rated players, and so they just.
So So they get paired in a 10-minute game against somebody rated 50 points higher than them, and they try to draw.
Well, not like 50 points higher, but if someone's like 100 points higher rated, yeah, they'll definitely try to draw.
They try to draw. Huh? I'd never even thought of that.
And sometimes you're playing for a prize. Yeah, like in a low rated section.
Yeah,
I think these games are fun when you're just trying to make a draw. So, I feel like I had one where I needed a draw to make an IM norm, and I had white, and my opponent, he transposed into Queen's Gambit accepted, but I could still go for that endgame line with D takes C5, and I had been studying it at the time, so I knew some ideas there, and I was like, yeah, let's do this. Because I knew, like, okay, I'm never gonna lose here, and I was like even like better throughout the game. But yeah, it was fun.
And it drew eventually.
I did draw, yeah,
Nice.
yeah, easily too. I was confident. I was
Very
like, no way,
professional.
yeah. But no, other times I've definitely lost trying to draw. Okay, H6 was an interesting question. Bishop goes back.
Mitch gave an acceptable answer. I would say probably knight takes d5 here.
Yeah, but then I mean it's just completely. I mean, no, if white is better, just like black still needs to develop the bishop.
Yeah.
So if anything, yeah, white is doing well here. If we just get trades, bishop d5, bishop sits on f3, rooks come to the center quickly, and yeah, black is behind.
Yeah, actually, okay. So black needs to think really hard about what they're trying to do here.
Yeah, this is tough now. This is very tough for Timpy. Yeah, knight c5 is an attempt to just keep the game extremely messy, but I mean, it might be better than just being slightly worse in bad position. G5 played.
Mitch
Bishop
FG is
G3
like not playing for a draw.
takes, and yeah, he goes FG, opening up the rook. Man, FG, I mean, definitely seen more and more of these lately.
Ironically, just
taking
knight
over.
takes g3 was really strong. He didn't need to do something weird and risky. But
Yeah.
okay, maybe it's very strong. Maybe it's very strong. Maybe there's.
No, I like knight takes, and you get the rook to the e file quickly too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like our knight's headed towards f5, our rook's going to the e file. He already has 3 files, so the value of the f file, I don't know how much, you know.
But he does
it's
hit
the,
f7. Yeah, it is.
Diminishing returns.
It's a nice target here.
The marginal value of each additional open file.
It's nice. Okay, black takes. I was thinking maybe just castle for black. But he's gonna take and then castle. Yeah. Okay, and then white still pressurizing b7.
Good Morphe with rook f7. Very good. Stronger would be if his knight were on g3 and he could go knight f5, king h7, knight d6, and just leave black in dismay.
Yeah. Okay, knight d4.
Or even just rook c1, c7 would be very strong, huh?
Mm-hmm. Okay, trying to come in. Okay, bishop gets questioned. You can't pressure both f7 and b7, dog. You gotta pick one. He picks f7, which I think is a good call. Yeah, I like this bishop on b3. Now rook f6, rook af1. No, I think Mitch is he's playing another championship game. Knight f5, that's Fischer-esque. Going for rook and bishop.
But your rook f6 was really
Yeah, that was also Fischer-esque.
too potent.
Yeah.
There was no defending f7. Like, it was just done.
Yeah, that looked pretty solid. Not gonna lie.
Bishop e8, you have knight e6 check. That would have been the end. I guess the knight on b3 is not going to defend f7 either, so it's going to be rook c8 to c7. Whoa. No!
Ooh, king g7, f6. Oof.
Yeah, you have to realize what your opponent's doing, Mitch, and then you realize you've got rook e1. Not rook c1, rook c8, but rook e1. And there would have been nothing to do. He's going to try and fight his way into c7 here, maybe, with doubling the rooks against rook c8.
Yeah.
Black can just go trade in rook c8, right?
Yeah, but again, Mitch just needs to draw, so I think he doesn't mind this so much.
Oh, the draw would be so much easier if he had a rook on the 7th and was up a pawn.
Yeah, if he was, just winning.
You're just like easily winning and your opponent was helpless. That's my way of drawing.
Right. He just win the game.
Footnote, my way of winning, of drawing, is that I win.
Well, if he loses this, he's going to have some soul searching to do, for sure.
Yeah, because he just blew all those rooks on nothing.
Okay. Nothing to fear. King e3, king d4.
King d5. The hint.
But white should be very much in time here. I mean, still only white that can be better.
Not if black brings the king to e5.
Yeah, but just king e3, king d4 right away.
But I don't know that he sees
it. What else could he do?
I don't know. He's thinking heavily. That means he's looking for something weird to do.
He's looking at some pawn move.
He calls it like jerking, like as a verb, right? Like,
yeah.
This is where my
jerked. He's about to. Well, any move other than king e3 is odd. Hey, fixable. H3 carpal line. Well, I never thought it was like the best. I just thought it was a good option. I think it's still a very playable option.
Ooh. After 1 minute of toying with my heart, Mitch king into the center.
All right, king f6. Now king d4. Yeah, much more likely. Very good. King b6.
Nice.
Both sides playing logically. Now I just need to not lose your mind here as white. So a4, a5 is the only thing, but a5 black also has to be careful that the b6 pawn doesn't become a problem.
And Mitch didn't want to deal with knight b5 check, which I agree with him on. Given his match situation, he could have played bishop c6 to stop it, and against king e6, play bishop d5 check.
Mm-hmm.
And then black should not let his king come into e5, so king f6, bishop c6. That would be, I think, professional here. But a4 should be fine too.
Yeah.
Hopping over to the other game for a moment, Laurent is setting up a kingside attack, like a serious one. Oh, but Thorbittles is making some sick counterplay too.
Mm-hmm. But this is very scary for black. I mean, this is oof. Let's see what happened here. Yeah, allowing knight e5 and f4, I think, super dangerous. Why didn't Thor play his he didn't play his Dutch? Laurent pushed them off the Dutch.
That's crazy.
That's kind of huge. He forced him to play a Slav, but he's
Yeah, I've
not.
never seen that.
He's not a Slav player.
So Kostya, last move instead of knight f3, do you know what move I was looking at for Laurent?
Instead of knight f3.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's like some rook f6 or some.
Yeah, rook f6, bishop d2, rook f1, bishop e3 check, king h1, rook e7, and then there I looked at g6 and rook to h6. And neither fully worked, but maybe rook 1 to f3 would have been winning there. Like that, I mean, I was looking at that not as a joke. Like it could.
No, it called for it. I was looking at some similar like rook f3, rook h3 stuff too. But I don't know. I don't mind just keeping the knight.
Keeping the knight, yeah. I don't mind either, but if rook f6 wins, then
Yeah.
on it.
But this is just so pleasant. Yeah, I mean, just bring the knight to f6. Okay, c5. That feels strong. h4. Yeah, Laurent needs this knight off of f3. Can't get it out of there fast enough. When we repeat, do we do all 3 repetitions? Usually, yes. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Like if one side has no pieces but they have a perpetual check, then clearly they're just gonna make a draw. But even in those cases, sometimes you just repeat anyway.
I typically repeat until my opponent stops the game. So sometimes 4 times, sometimes 5 times.
You've never had a situation where you should claim?
Nope. Or maybe
Oh,
I should have, but I didn't.
I've claimed a couple times where it was like clutch, like where my opponent should play on and is like even like winning in some cases if they play on, and I'm just acting. I'm just doing a great job of like just like yeah, draw's cool, whatever. But as soon as I'm able to make a draw, I'm like yeah, I claim. Yeah, I mean you got to be careful. I mean if I have one recently where my opponent's winning, and I could feel like if I give him one more chance, he's not going to repeat. So I repeated it at the first possible, or I claimed at the first possible instant.
So knight h2 here?
That feels consistent, absolutely. Knight g4, knight f6. I mean, it's too strong. We got fe5. Yeah, I don't really see black's counterplay landing. Bishop d2. This I like less.
Okay, Kostya, I found something. Go back to the rook f6 position for 1 second.
Okay. So you're thinking, yeah, rook f6 here.
Okay. It doesn't work. Or I mean, I don't know if it works or not, but I found something else. Rook f7.
Oh, instead of rook f6.
Yeah. Rook f7. Queen f7.
Yeah.
Bishop h7.
Mm-hmm.
Knight h7. g6. And then whether the queen goes to f5 or d7, either way with like queen h7, rook f1, I win the queen.
Yeah, that's a pretty It's a pretty sick line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be winning for white. Wow, Rook F7. Dang, that's nice. And G6.
I looked at bishop
Yeah, that's
h7
beautiful.
and rook f7 and g6 and everything, and it was just too fuzzy. But then I kept looking.
Yeah, it's a very nice visualization on this position. Dang. Tactics. Now, black can go rook a7 to defend the f pawn. Well, not anymore, but I still kind of like white's position, but yeah, maybe like rook f4 now. I think rook needs to go to f4. Keep the d pawn defended. And then rook af1. And then
Time's starting to run out.
yeah, this knight is so far from f6 now. Bishop
Like
d2 is.
Rook f4, knight g6, right? Like not giving much time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there you double, and the exchange stack is still winning. But it's not guaranteed. Just given.
Yeah. Mitch's game. Okay, this one is definitely drawn. So Mitch is close to clinching. Just has to not lose his head. And his wife needs to not go into labor for like another 10 minutes, and he should should be able to get it.
Yeah.
Bishop g8, good. That's clean. Just keeping the bishop as far away as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we'll keep an eye on that one. In the meantime, folks, this match is 1.5 half, so Laurent is up a point. If he wins this game, it's over. He wins the match. If not, that'll be the game 4. Bishop b7 played. I feel like he's going to go rook ac1. That feels like a very Laurent move.
Doesn't rook f7 still work, Kostya?
Oh, he still has it. Oh. Rook, I called it. Oh, yeah. I know my dojo. Dude, rook f7, dang.
There's no king on the c file, Laurent. That's all I've got to say about that.
He was still working. Alright, these guys get 2 homework assignments. The rook endgame and rook takes f7 tactics.
No, I mean, you can't find rook. You're not supposed to calculate super difficult variations in a rapid game. But I think the rook ending, that's the homework.
Rook endgame for sure. I mean, this one, it's a little combination. Rook f7, bishop h7, g6. That's findable. You know, these are 2 classic candidate moves. I think this is something to work on.
d7, also fearing that c file. Does rook f7 definitely mate? No, it's not mate, but I think it wins like a queen for, or like a queen and piece for 2 rooks or something like that. With a continuing attack, like the king gets chased around. White will probably have 2 passed pawns on the king side at the end.
So it's still working.
If they go queen d7, then you go queen h7, king f8, rook f1, king e7, rook f7, and you pick up the queen anyway. Whichever direction she goes, your rook can like catch up with her. And then the material is almost equal, but you've got queen takes g7 and just push the kingside pawns at the end. Rook f7, g6. You can play rook takes queen, pawn takes queen, rook takes b7. Rook f7, rook e7. Sure. Then, well, I mean, you could just take your pawn and run, but I would be really tempted to go rook f8, king f8, bishop h7, and then bishop to g6. I don't think black can untangle a road for the king.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to predict this move. c5.
We think he can still do it. Ooh, c5. Nice. Leaving the bishop on b7 out of the game.
Yeah.
This is good. Now you can maybe still conceive of bishop a6.
Still like white's position. Oh, Mitch is in the chat. That means probably their game was drawn. Indeed.
Let's go chat.
Congrats, Mitch. Winning Dojo Championships 2023, 2.5 out of 3 there. Feeding Timpe gets silver. Well played, well played.
Yeah,
Definitely
2.5 out of 4, right? The first game really did.
2.5 out of 4, excuse me. Sorry, out of 4.
Yeah, close. Very close. Timpe's like d5 breakthrough in that first game was complicated and nice.
Yeah. We're now, watching this match. So they're actually, no, they finished 2 games already. For some reason, the score shows 1-0. It's 1.5 half in Laurent's favor. So this is game 3. And, definitely looking nice for white. But it can still turn around. White's king is definitely kind of open in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah, the rook can't take on f7 for the first time in the game, basically.
Yeah, it's no longer winning for the first time in several moves. Rook takes f7. Yeah, we saw the first game, of course, was very much in Timpe's favor until the end. And that felt like that set the pace for the match.
I think Laurent should play queen g4 and then h5. Just push something. Just keep pushing something towards that king.
Yeah, h5, g6, h5, h6.
But I suppose he could also play ultra positionally Kostya with knight to b1 instead of h5.
True. Knight b1 also good.
On the whole board.
I want this knight on f6. I think knight f1, knight e3.
I know, but it's just...
It is slow.
It's so far away now. I think he didn't want to go there. Or he didn't think of the idea, I think, because he was so much closer to f6 at some previous point. Oh yeah, Mitch's game 2 was really... That was a crushing game for Mitch.
That was a very nice game.
Right.
Absolutely.
That was Mitch's.
h5, rook c5, rook c5. These guys now down to a blitz game.
Yeah. I don't like dc5, by the way, Baymon. The nice thing about it is letting your queen sort of come across the queen side, and if you could put your queen or knight on d4, sure. But black's going to play d4 immediately there.
Yeah.
And then the bishop on b7 is loose on your king side, and it feels very anything can happen-ish to me.
Ooh, queen d8. Sneaky move.
What's the sneak? What's he up to?
I think queen wants to go to like b6. I think.
There's the break.
But g6. Yeah, taking advantage. The queen no longer defending the e-pawn. Oh, it's looking very nice for white now. No, I think it's over.
Well, over is strong, but that was a good move. White has clearly the advantage.
Yeah, big advantage.
Is there a knockout if I go HG, HG, Rook C8? Oh, there's Queen H3.
Queen H3 in the position. What also just GF7 looks nice for white. And then knight F3, knight G5.
Yeah. And actually knight F3 might be the best, just holding everything over black's head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this knight's coming back.
Needing. Yeah.
Baron with the 35 months. It's for subbing. Oh boy, knight G6. But yeah, bishop G6. This one you snap. Queen can take on E6. And then rook C3. It's game over. That's the match. Rook C3 coming.
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta watch out for queen G5 check.
Yeah, he's got 2 minutes left.
But queen G5 doesn't do anything. Yeah, just king H1. Oh, and there's rook C3 blitzed out.
Oh.
He's already calculated. Queen G5, king H1, followed by rook H3.
Delay. I was watching you on stream. Rook C3. Ooh, Laurent.
I mean, I think he had to calculate. He's pausing. So maybe this move came as a surprise.
Yeah.
So don't panic.
Mitch was playing for a draw in that last game.
Yeah.
Flying the pieces off. Mitch, that game you could have won if you just won his f7 pawn. I'll just say that. If you played rook e1 to e7. Or doubled rooks instead of knight f5. Rook f6, rook af1. You had at least 2 moments there where you could have won the f7 pawn.
Yeah, we're looking some nice ideas there.
Timmy's got a German flag, but speaking Dutch, I think. Interesting.
Thank you, Baymon, for the bits. Yeah, white's got a bit of a technical task, but should be very achievable. The queen is super strong. Queen e7 is yeah, queen e7 is a killer. That's cold-blooded.
Post is still calculating.
Oh, I got that from the chat. That was
oh, okay.
That was a chat find.
Damon is still calculating. Ghost Damon. And it's Jar. Belgium. So then is that Flemish, that bedankt voor het?
Yeah.
Seems the same as what it would be in Dutch.
Now queen e7 was game over, but yeah, I think white is winning here with any number of moves just because the queen is super strong. Black's pieces don't have activity, and it's really hard for black to move the rook, pick up the a2 pawn without just dropping the a pawn in the process. And white always has this e pawn. So yeah,
I see a way to mess it up. Queen c6, attacking things like queens are supposed to be good at.
Okay.
Rook a7, queen d5.
Yeah, do you want to be careful? Okay, queen c6. Oh, rook c8. That's not gonna.
Oh my god.
All right, he's going for this, but no, the rook is too weak, unfortunately.
The e-pawn should go for it now.
E-pawn, definitely. And black's king is just, yeah, not in time. Looks like Laurent will be winning the third place match, getting the bronze medal.
Thorbiddles was untouchable in
Very
that qualifier.
surprising. Yeah, 7 out of 7. Greatest performance in a Dojo Candidates tournament ever. And
yeah, like first half Topalov.
yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, he is a Topalov of the Dojo. Thorbiddles. Unfortunately, won't be. Whoa. Whoa.
What?
What did Laurent just do?
I guess he didn't want to work E7 rook E1 or something?
You got a little excited.
Queen D4 E7 calculated, or are we're just getting ahead of ourselves here?
I think he kind of blundered it.
No.
Because he spent some time on king takes G1.
Holy moly. Holy moly.
Thanks for the gifted sub. Life can be so nice. Yeah, I mean, it still looks winning, but a little bit. We had the extra queen, now we don't anymore, so it's a little bit regrettable.
Less winnable, or less winning.
Yeah.
So queen A8, E7, queen E8, and then maybe queen E6 to cut everything off.
Queen E6, yeah, you kind of just want to establish your dominance here with the queen. Queen E6 looks solid. I don't see what's wrong with B4, but...
Yeah, alternatively B4 is a good move.
Queen E3 is just a check. I don't quite see... Yeah. Either way, we still need to push our B pawn if we want to win this game.
Queen H3, Queen E6? No.
Okay, Queen E6 right away. Yeah, black is just stuck. I mean, you can't move the queen. And king doesn't go anywhere.
But does he see he has a B pawn? Because if he doesn't see it, it's going to be tricky to win this with the king.
Yeah.
Is there a 2 possibility?
I mean, still feels completely winning. Let's see. If he didn't have a B pawn, I would think white still has excellent winning chances. Especially now, Queen F6, Queen F8.
Yeah.
Should be.
And Queen F6 covers Queen F4.
Should be a win, but 20 seconds for Laurent. He needs to keep his head. Thorbiddles, 2 seconds.
Not many moves to make.
Oh, he flags. But yeah, I think it's lost position anyway. After check, king just moves out of the way. So
G4.
congrats to Laurent. They were missing one game. They did draw one game. Laurent won the last 2. Takes the bronze medal. Is the 3rd place finisher in the Dojo 2023 championship. So we got our winners. We got Mitch in 1st place, Timpy 2nd place, Laurent 3rd, Thorbiddles 4th. Road to 2000, winning the under 1800. Congrats to everyone. You guys are this year's champions.
Bravo to the champions. Yes.
Woo. Woo. Congrats, everyone. Thank you all for playing. Thanks, everyone, for watching. This year's season is already ongoing, so if you want to participate in the finals, all you got to do is join the dojo, play in any of our tournaments on Lichess. Join our Lichess team. We run weekly events, Blitz, Rapid, and Classical. In fact, there's a Classical arena going on. Got monthly winners. At the end of the year, all the monthly winners get invited to the candidates cycle. So yeah, exciting times. Congrats again. I think we got Thorbiddles and Laurent in the chat. Well done. Well done. A very exciting match. Some good chess. some stuff, you know, to review. I think this might be an instructive stream to rewatch if you were one of the players. But yeah,
we just praised you heavily nonstop because you know, it was your time to shine in the championships.
yeah, definitely had high expectations for you guys. So yeah, folks. All right, that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching.